To ask the First Minister what action the Scottish Government is taking to improve the availability of organs viable for donation and transplant.
First Minister.
We're continuing to work with NHS staff to increase numbers of donors and transplants available in Scotland. We will also be introducing legislation in this parliamentary year to bring forward a soft opt-out system of organ and tissue donation. Over time, as part of our wider package of measures to promote a culture change in favour of donation, this should help to increase the number of deceased organ donors further.
Jamie Greene.
I thank the First Minister for that response. It is an issue for me, like many, which holds great personal resonance. I was blessed with the gift of a grandmother thanks to a kidney donor in the 1980s, and also have family members who passed at an early age, but through donation gave the gift of life and health to others. However, a report this week released by the Welsh Government found that despite the implementation of an opt-out system for organ donation, the number of donors has not increased in the 2 years since it came into force. So can I ask what steps the First Minister will take to ensure that any such scheme in Scotland takes into account any potential issues around availability, eligibility and family overrides, whilst addressing any other concerns that the public might have with plans for opt-out in Scotland?
First Minister.
Well, I think these are important questions, actually, very legitimate questions. The early indications from the Welsh system are mixed. There are very complex factors involved in donation. Donor numbers fluctuate, and the evaluation report in Wales suggests that a longer period of time is needed to draw firmer conclusions about the impact of the change in the law. So we will continue to learn from the experience in Wales and indeed from other countries that have already adopted an opt-out system in order that we can deliver a workable, safe system here in Scotland. And I think it is important that we take the time to get this right. I think there's two quick points I would make. Firstly, we have seen an increase in donations in recent years. Between 2007-8 and 2016-17, deceased donor numbers in Scotland increased by 146%. And I think that's something that all of us should welcome. When I was Health Secretary, and I came at this issue from having a long-standing instinctive position in favour of moving to a softer opt-out system. In my various discussions with transplant surgeons and others, they persuaded me that we shouldn't rush to make that change, that it was actually more important to do what they described to me at the time as the hard miles of this, put in place the infrastructure that would support an increase. That's what we spent a lot of time doing. That's what's behind the increase that I've just cited here. But having done that, I do think it is now time to consider that move, and that's what the legislation will allow Parliament openly and responsibly to do. And in doing that, of course, we should pay attention to what's happening in Wales and indeed to other countries as well.